50% of men and women. When we chose this topic, we already thought that men and women are different, and that is why there shouldn't be 50% of men or women everywhere. Now we have more evidence supporting our opinion, and we would like to share it with you. First of all, what do men look in women and vice versa? Well, men look for beauty in women because that is a signal of fertility, and women look for status, which means that the man has resources to raise their offspring. Relating this to the working area, this influences the fact that more women have a job related to looking good, such as modeling, fashion industry, or makeup industry. Men, on the other hand, usually are more eager to ascend in their jobs. Also, men are more interested in things, which is similar to say that they are more interested in status, because again, this is a way to show to their partner that they can take care of their offspring. That is why men are more prone to sacrifice family life, social life, etc. for their jobs. Men are more interested in people, on maintaining social relationships, and on having wide networks of people around them. That's why more women have jobs related to taking care of people, such as in a hospital working as doctors or nurse, or in a school working as teachers.
You may say right now that this is the result of norms created by our patriarchal society and the effect of different way of raising children depending on their sex from their very early age. Well, we agree with that. There's no doubt that boys and girls are still not treated in the same way from the very beginning of their life, just like women and men are still not equal in many fields of life. And both of these aspects should have changed. But our society and education explain all the differences between both sexes? And actually, are there any real, which means scientifically proven, differences between men and women? Well, the answer is yes. Scientists found the three main differences between men and women. First of them is motility. Men are 10 to 20% physically bigger than women everywhere in the world, what leads to differences in motor skills between both sexes. Men are already more active in utero. Research shows that boys kick more. They also aim better, run faster, jump further and higher. That's because of the role they had in the past. They were hunters. And these physical differences are really difficult to explain socially, like, son, grow better than your sister? But there is a biological explanation, which says that in lower animals, usually females are larger. You can see it, for example, in mantis. But in high animals, like lions, males are the larger ones. Men also perform much better in tests of mental rotation. And this difference is already occur in 5-month-old infants. However, the small object's location memory, so valuable for gatherers, is much better developed in women. Women also dominate in motor visual coordination and motor plasticity. These differences only appear during puberty, with full hormonal development. The next main difference is aggression. It won't be surprising when I say that it's the male domain. However, not always. Research shows that in the conditions of provocation, this difference decreases and even reverses its sign when the provocation takes the form of an insult. Moreover, while women are usually equally aggressive towards both sexes, men are mainly aggressive towards other men, what of course refers to the testosterone, but we will talk about it later. As the last but not least main difference, researchers mention sex. Desire for greater sexual diversity in men is a common phenomenon all over the world. Scientists know it, because they took samples from 52 different cultures. Men are in favor of easy sex without obligations. Everywhere they are characterized by a much more open social sexual orientation, which means that their tendency to sexual contacts is not subject to the clause of love and exclusivity. Men are also more sexually active and less opposed to having sex before marriage. All of these differences are the result of the parental roles of both sexes. Furthermore, women and men define sex differently. For both, vaginal intercourse is a sex, but a kiss is not. However, many men also state oral petting as a sex, while women do not perceive it in this way. Except main differences, researchers distinguished other, not so huge, but also significant disparities. Moderate differences we can find in the field of communication, in the most of verbal and non-verbal abilities, and social behaviors, such as conformism, smiling, helping, or morality. All of them are female domains. Small differences were found in personality traits. Neuroticism prevails in women. Ladies are therefore more prone to anxiety and depression, and are also more emotionally sensitive. Extroversion, in turn, appears differently in its individual aspects. Gentlemen are more assertive and are more eager to look for new experiences. Ladies are warmer, more sociable, and reveal more positive emotions. Regarding to the remaining personality traits, the fluctuations between both sexes are very small. Ladies are slightly more open, especially to feelings, conciliatory, and conscientious. Interestingly, these small differences do not disappear at all in societies with greater gender equality. On the contrary, the largest have been noted in Europe and North America. Well, we said about areas where there are significant differences between both sexes. But are there any well-known stereotypical inequalities that research completely contradicts? Of course they are. Researchers didn't find any differences between women and men in the level of felt happiness and satisfaction with life, self-assessment, attribution of successes and failures, fear of success, and, what's the most important, no differences in the level of intelligence. However, although the average IQ is the same in both sexes, there are the differences between its distribution in male and female populations, which you can see in the graph. Blue line shows the distribution of men's IQ. The orange one is dedicated for women. As you probably already noticed, women are more homogeneous in terms of IQ level than men. More women than men have IQ level less deviated from the average. So yes, when you will meet a super intelligent person, it's statistically more probable that this person will be a man. But don't worry, girls, it doesn't mean that men are smarter. As I already mentioned, the average IQ of both sexes is identical. So it just means that if you will meet, to put it politely, someone who is not the brightest bulb, it will probably be also a man.
So how do these differences relate to our main topic? Well, differences in motility account for all the differences observed in sports. Differences in aggression and testosterone relate to competitivity. Men are more competitive, and more competitive people are more driven to pursue higher positions in their domains. Regarding differences in sex, as we know, men's reproductive strategy is in general more prone to promiscuity. Moreover, their attractiveness in the eyes of women hinges on their social status. Thus, they have a higher incentive than women for climbing the social ladder and getting into higher positions. Their reproductive success entirely depends on this. Differences in sociableness explain why women tend to choose careers where they work with people like psychology. And last but not least, differences in the variance of IQ distributions by gender is also an important factor of why there are more men in higher positions, but it also explains why are more women than men who graduate from high school or university. In addition, as we know, men have higher levels of testosterone than women, which leads to the existence of so many differences that we cannot sum them all up in this video. One of those is risk-taking. Men are more prone to take risks than women. This is one of the possible reasons why there are more entrepreneurial men than women. On the other hand, women are more wary in this aspect, which is why, for instance, women tend to outperform men in tasks like investing and trading in the financial markets, as it is shown by some studies. It has also been observed that the more egalitarian a country is, the more asymmetrical the presence of both genders is in all jobs. Countries like Norway have less women taking STEM degrees or working in STEM fields. They also have less women in more typically men-dominated domains, and vice versa, than less egalitarian countries do, like in Mexico or some Arabian countries. This implies that as they are more free, not only in terms of egalitarianism but also in economic terms, people have more freedom to express who they are and to follow their biologically driven passions, and therefore to express it also in the world of work, which implies going for the professional domains that they really like. Indeed, differences in personality traits between both sexes tend to also increase. With all of this being said, we can draw the hypothetical conclusion that these deeply rooted differences between men and women, even those that are small, have a huge sociological impact, leading to some phenomena such as, for instance, the asymmetrical distribution of both genders in many job fields. We are thus against the stance of parity in job gender ratios, as society's and everyone's highest interest is to get as much talent as possible. And with regards to this, ratio parity measures would constitute an attempt to meritocracy and thus to talent. We think that hiring should be carried out not on the basis of race, sexual orientation, political ideology, nor gender, but purely on the basis of talent and merit. For you, what is equality for you? We hope to have created some debate. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, give us a like, and follow us on Twitter and all social media. Thank you for watching.